Welcome here, NorthPlattePost.com. Kyle Laboria, Scott Carlson here with you guys. Fundraiser day on North Platte Post, also homecoming day here on the Post for the fundraiser, and kind of crazy day, Scott. It's been a really crazy week for North Platte athletics. I mean, we could talk about, state championship, a state runner-up, all in 1 week, and here we are trying to raise money for the activities department.
Yeah, that's right. And what a week, like you said, for North Platte athletics. As you mentioned, the girls golf team winning the state championship, crushing the competition. Let's be honest.
20 strokes.
Yeah, they crushed everybody. And I was lucky enough to be there because my daughter plays on the team, so that was cool. And then softball team.
Special day for your daughter.
A huge day. She got a hole-in-one at the state tournament. That was the first day, so a 2-day tournament. But yeah, it was awesome. A lot of fun, and what a great finish for the North Platte Bulldogs golf team. And two seniors, Bailey Steele, Maya Lashley, taking off. But some good talent staying, so I think the Dogs golf team might be a contender for a while.
I'm glad to hear that. And of course, today, just a few hours ago, you heard it on FM 98.1. The girls softball team making it to the state championship game. They get Rona ruled in the state championship game by the #1 team in the nation, Papillion La Vista. Yeah. But a state runner-up is nothing to slouch at.
No, for sure. And they had a great season as well. They were a great team. That was right there, and they played a great Papillion La Vista team, like you said. Not just #1 in Nebraska, but in the nation.
#1 in the nation.
One of the arguably best pitchers in the nation. A lot of people say the best pitcher in the nation in ball, and that was a tough task, but yeah, like you said, runner-up. Only one other team gets to say that, and that's the Dogs. So.
And just about 90 minutes from now, but right behind us, we're at Bauer Field. We're going to have the final regular season game of North Platte Bulldogs football, 4-2 on the season. In the running, I mean, they're trying for a bye week. They're trying to go for a bless you.
Excuse me.
They're trying to go.
I hate video.
They're trying to go for a top 8 seed and a bye in the first week as everybody makes the playoffs thanks to COVID this year. But COVID really the reason why we're here today. We're trying to raise some money for the activities department.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of things that bring in money to the activities. And when we say activities, we're not just talking football, volleyball, golf, the sports. We're talking about what I've always considered sports, but the fine arts.
Sure.
We're talking about choir, band, drama, speech and debate, just numerous activities that are supported, and not just at North Platte High School, but throughout the North Platte Public School District. So, yeah, it's been a huge hit to them to not have spectators paying admission and buying concessions. And then I think probably one of the biggest hits was not being able to have the Bulldog Backyard Barbecue this year. I mean, that's a big hit. A huge fundraiser for the activities department, and we saw the Public Schools Foundation hold the food truck Friday a couple weeks ago, and so helped there with some funds. But they're definitely not at the point where they usually are this time of year after 3/4 of a football season and volleyball matches, because frankly they haven't been able to let all the people in. There's been restrictions on how people are treated and how people have to act once they're in. And so we're here to, like you said, try to help them raise some funds.
And you being the news guy, you know a lot about the restrictions that we've been going through. I mean, you were in it all the time.
Yeah, from day one. I mean, it was literally you woke up one day back in March, and it was like, all right, we're covering something crazy that we've never experienced before, and just so much uncertainty at the beginning. And I can remember when the kids got out of school. The thought was it was going to be for a couple of weeks and then everything would be back. Well, it ended up being a lot more than a couple of weeks, and the impacts continue. We heard Governor Ricketts today impose new restrictions that will go into place on the 21st. Just today. So luckily, when it comes to spectators, sounds like outdoor activities still going to be able to be at 100% of rated occupancy.
That's good.
Indoor activities will be impacted a little bit, but still people will get to come watch. So, at least there's that.
It's better than we were back in March. I want to take an opportunity to thank a couple of our sponsors on this day of fundraising, A Cut Above Salon and Pediatric pediatric dentists of Greater Nebraska, really stepping up. We've already raised almost $3,000 this today so far in donations from community members and donations from businesses around North Platte. You can donate. It's easy. NorthPlattePost.com. Right on the opening page, you can donate right there. It's at the top of the page. It's a big yellow banner. You can't miss it. Actually, as a matter of fact, it looks a little something like this. Right there, NorthPlattePost.com. You can see that banner. You can click there to pledge your donation. We'll be taking donations through the weekend. That banner will be up there through the weekend, so through the midnight on Sunday. If you see this video, if you come down to the game and someone's like, oh man, yeah, I donated. Oh yeah, you have a chance to donate all weekend long. We're taking donations at the game. This box will be down at the main gate. You can drop checks, cash, donations in here. Every single cent going to go to the North Platte Activities Department. And like Scott said, it's not just sports. I mean, we're here at the football game. Obviously, I'm the sports director. Scott's my color guy. You see us a lot in the sporting world, but choir, theater, color guard, band, journalism, the newspaper, the Bulldogger. You heard from Lori Larson throughout the day on our stations. All those have been impacted by coronavirus. Yearbook, another one, impacted by coronavirus.
Sure.
So your donation's not just going to athletics. If you've got a child out there that is into the arts, goes to that too. I mean, we're both theater guys. Theater's a big part of our life.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I was one that was in sports as you were, and theater both. And in my day, that was kind of weird, but in these days, it's not. A lot of the athletes are involved in choir and drama and the musical. That's such a big hit here at the high school every year. Of course, your donations will support the high school musical as well at those types of activities. So, just a great opportunity to give a little bit. I heard someone say, I think it was Derek Beck, who's on Q Country 107.3, say that, hey, add up how much you would have spent if you bought a popcorn and a pop at the games you would have went to that you couldn't, and maybe make that your donation.
Throw it in the box.
Maybe you've got a couple bucks in the cup holder. Hey, they'll take.
You've definitely got a couple bucks in your cup holder.
For sure.
There's a change shortage going on in the nation. They just need to raid Scotty's
I was going to
truck.
say they've never looked in my empty coffee cans. But yeah, for sure, every dollar counts. So if you think, man, I just don't have a lot to give, couple bucks, $5.
You're a Bulldog.
Yeah,
You're a Bulldog alumni.
Yep.
I mean, I know it was years ago, but when you were doing activities, think about it. Well, I mean, it was
years ago.
I mean, come on.
No, you're right. It was. It was years ago, man. It was.
Talk about your experience. What was your experience as a Bulldog?
Man, it's great. Of course, I grew up around Bulldogs athletics because my mom was the volleyball coach here for 41 years. And when I was a kid, she was not only the volleyball coach, but also the tennis coach, girls tennis coach as well. So, and she was the booster club sponsor and all kinds of stuff. So I spent a lot of time, of course, not in this doghouse because I was in the old school. So yeah, it was years ago. And old school, I mean the actual old building, not like old school, bro. But yeah, it was a huge part of my life growing up before I even got to high school, and then once I got here, I mean, I used to. John Albury was a great athlete that went through North Platte High School.
A lot of people know that name.
When I was a kid, and I had his basketball jersey, and so we'd go to the high school and watch the basketball game, and then when I'd get home, I'd throw on my John Albury jersey and set up my little Nerf hoop and reenact what I saw him do. So to be a Bulldog and I ended up being focused mainly on soccer. That was the sport I loved to play, and I was fortunate that North Platte High School had soccer because a lot of schools in the state don't, and so that's where I had my fun. Of course, Coach Whitney, Jim Whitney, who coached for a lot of years, and now his son Danny and his daughter Sarah, both head coaches in the soccer program here. So man, it's cool. It's a big part of kids' lives. For some kids, it's maybe their only escape, or maybe what's going to keep them from going and getting in trouble after school because they know, number one, they got practice, and number two, if they get in trouble, they can't compete. And I don't think that's as like a threat, an anvil over their head ready to drop. I think it's just responsibility.
Yeah,
It teaches you so much. Teamwork, let's face it, how to work with people that you don't like. I mean, on a team, there's gonna be people you don't like, but you gotta work with them because they're your teammates, and that happens throughout life. So important, man. Of course, in singing, something you can do when you're talking the music department, something you can do forever.
Oh, and anywhere. And anywhere.
And it doesn't have to be good. I mean, when I'm 90, I don't expect, hopefully I live to 90, but I don't expect my voice to be, the tone to be as quality, or maybe not.
Don't let him
quality,
fool you. He's going to be a great singer at 90.
Yeah, but you can do that stuff forever. I mean, that stuff that you learn there, you can do forever. Some of the songs, I mean, we did the Hallelujah chorus when I was in high school. They still do it. And so now whenever I hear it, I can sing it. Sing Handel's Messiah because I got music here. And of course, I went on to college and sang in the choir at UNK and was involved with their music and theater department too. So yeah, it followed me. That's a big deal, man.
So activities, I mean, it lays such an important foundation. It sounds like it laid an important foundation in your life.
It did.
You are a father now. Two of your daughters here at the high school. One of them has graduated. I apologize, Sierra.
Yeah.
She's at UNL. But both of them involved in activities. Your eldest at UNL now for dance. She's not necessarily an athlete, but taking advantage of the activities program.
Hey, dancers are athletes, man. I mean,
they
are in shape, the training and everything. So I'll say that. Of course, I say that to theater people. This is a sport. Think about it. You practice to play a game. You practice to perform in front of spectators, and that's what you do in any sport. And you put in long hours, and you blood, sweat, and tears, and set pieces falling on you, and people dropping you on your head when they're supposed to catch you. So, but yeah, my daughter's involved in choir, both of them choir. My daughter here now is in band and loves band. I mean, it's been life-changing. She's found her group of friends, I think, within the band. And, they're band geeks. They're proud to be called band geeks.
Sure.
And it's a cool thing, man. They're a cool group of people. And then you see that bleed over the people who are vocalists and play an instrument. And so you have cheerleaders out here who at halftime will go grab their flute or their clarinet.
We notice it all the time.
Yeah, and they're part of the marching band. So it's just a cool thing for kids to do. And for a lot of kids, it's stuff they'll remember forever. Whether you win a state championship or not, you remember your high school athletics and activities forever.
And that's something. I mean, if you've been listening to any of our stations all throughout the day, we talked to a lot of people from the school. That's one of the things that Principal Siegel mentioned when we talked to him. Is you may not remember the math lesson unless it was particularly moving. You may not remember your English lesson. You're probably not going to remember that stuff. What you are going to remember is your practices. You're going to remember hanging out in the locker room. For me, it was going and grabbing a burger at the hamburger stand after practice. That's what we used to do because the hamburger stand was right down the street. So after practice, we'd run down, we'd all grab a burger. We'd get yelled at by coach because we're eating junk food, but that was our that was our thing. And that's what you remember. And activity is such an important part of that. Scott mentioned some of the things that activities was lacking this year. Of course, you're not getting the gate income that you usually get. You're not getting the concession income. But some of the things you may not think about. You mentioned it right before we got live. Millard West bringing 2 charter buses because they can't sit next to each other because of COVID. Right. They need to maintain social distancing. So they're bringing 2 buses. Now you have to charter 2 buses. You can't put 4 kids into a hotel room anymore like you could. It's got to be 2 kids per hotel room. So costs are up and expenses are up and costs are down. Income is down.
Income's way down.
So that's why we're doing the donation. Like I said, NorthPlattePost.com. You can donate there. You can bring checks to the school. We'll have the box set up at the game. If you're coming down to the game, we are, quick math, an hour and 20 minutes away from kickoff against Millard West. So if you're planning on coming down to the game, bring your donations. We'll have that box at the main gate for you to donate. Hey, I mean, a dollar helps. A dollar goes a long way. We have a saleswoman at the station where, she says pennies make dollars.
They do.
Dollars go a long way.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, the coin shortage. They'd love to have your change. The banks would love to have your change.
This box might not take too much change, but
be careful. Yeah, you don't want the bottom falling out.
Be careful with your change. And it's really our pleasure. Like I said, we've been talking about it all week long. We get to see Bulldog activities up close and personal, and I know it's special for you. It's really special for me too.
Yeah, it's fun, and I always tell people the best part about it for me is it gives me a reason to go watch every Bulldog football game and every volleyball game possible, because let's be honest, I probably wouldn't. I mean, I'd probably come to a few at each season, and make it. But
a big matchup. Carney comes to town.
But this way, I get to watch every single one of them, even the road games, man, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I think this is 10 years that I've been doing this, so I've followed the Bulldogs for a lot of miles, and man, a lot of tough seasons, a couple good seasons, and this season, one of the good ones, man. We've got
even during all this junk that's going on,
for sure.
all this just the coronavirus, the COVID, and the mask restrictions. Can we come? Can we not come? It's been a wild and crazy season, and I know the school appreciates your support. We appreciate your support as well. NorthPlatePost.com is where you can make those donations. Again, big thanks to Cut Above Salon and Spa, pediatric dental specialists of Greater Nebraska, helping support us. Like I said, when we started, we were about $3,000 or so, which is great for just taking donations.
Yeah. Hopefully it's gone up since we started.
I hope it has too. I hope Lewis, are you watching? If you're watching, you should text us, Lewis, about what our donations are, if they've gone up or not. We were supposed to have a coach from the football team come by, and I'm about ready to yell just out the window and see if we can't steal one of the coaches and get them to come.
They always conveniently forget us. So.
I talked to Coach Rice right before we were about to get on. He's like, "Yeah, I'll send a coach up, no problem." No problem at all. So hopefully,
and then we start thinking about his game plan and how he's going to win tonight, and that became really low on the priority list. Maybe I'm not no fault. That's what he should be.
Yeah, that's what he should be. That's what a head coach. That's honestly what a head coach does. So I mean, you talked a little bit about your experience as a Bulldog here at North Platte, and you've got to see a beautiful new building, beautiful new facilities.
Yeah, I've got a brick, man. I've got a.
You've got a brick.
I've got a brick on the wall. Class of '97. So yeah, it was like I said. I mean, the old high school was a part of my life. I started traveling with my mom's volleyball team when I was 18 months old. I used to make me a bed up in the luggage rack of the old Bulldogger bus, and I would sleep up there until we got to wherever, and then. One of the requirements to be a student manager was you had to be good with babies, because guess what? My mom wasn't watching me and holding me when she was coaching, so that fell on her student managers, and I think I made it pretty easy for the most part.
You have a chance to talk to your mom all the time. What's from her perspective? Tell us as best you can about what Bulldog athletics is, Bulldog activities have meant for her.
When my
she
mom
started.
When my mom got here to North Platte High School in 1969, they had cheerleading.
I didn't mean to date you, Linda.
No,
sorry.
it's all right. She'll say it proudly. They had cheerleading for girls, and that was it. And so she started with intramural sports and got girls involved in sports. I mean, my mom played multiple sports in college, and so coming to a school, there was a Class A school that. Had, I don't know if the classifications were in place or different, but it was one of Nebraska's bigger schools, but had nothing for females, so she started with intramurals, and then after intramurals, she was able to start the girls' track program, and at that time, Mid-Plains Community College had a track team, so the boys' high school team would practice, then the track team from the college would practice, all on the track here at the school. And then by the time my mom got her girls on the track, they had like 25 minutes of daylight. And of course, no lights to light up the track or anything. And she coached every event by herself, and I think she got $100. I think she got something like $100 for the whole season.
Wait, for the whole season?
Yeah.
Not like $100 an event.
For the whole season.
The whole season?
For the whole season, $100. And then, and of course, the reason she was able to get it started was the namesake of this field, and that's Merle Bauer. He was the activities director, and my mom went to him with, like, hey, I want to start this, and he's like, okay, I don't have any money. I don't have any money to pay you. I can't really give you assistant coaches or anything like that, but I got your back. So they did it, and then after track came girls tennis, and then after girls tennis, she started the volleyball program. So the female athletics here were started by my mom, so that's a pretty cool thing.
And I mean, some great female athletics coming out. Maybe the biggest one, probably, arguably Val Skinner, greatest female athlete.
That's what a lot would say. Cindy Tatum was a great athlete. Susan Johnson Hood was an Olympic caliber softball pitcher. So yeah, some great ones that came through here for sure. But the first year of the track program, they won the state track championship.
Wow.
Their first year, and she won a few volleyball championships as well. So I mean, some Division I, Kelly Branning played at Kansas State. I mean, she had several of her players go on to big time Division I programs and stuff like that. So North Platte can be a launching pad for college athletes if that's what they want to do as they further their education.
And
we can do it.
And it really starts. It starts here. It starts with the activities department. We're gonna be wrapping things up here, so we gotta get ready for the football game ourselves. So we're gonna be wrapping.
Thanks, Mom.
I don't know. Sorry to date you. We're going to be wrapping up here in just a minute, but we just want to reiterate as much as you can. Please take the opportunity to donate. Like I said, NorthPlattePost.com. Big thanks to Cut Above Salon and Spa, pediatric dental specialist in Greater Nebraska, helping us out with that. NorthPlattePost.com. That's what the banner looks like. We'll show you one more time. Boom! It's right on the top of the page. This very box will be at the main gate. You can bring your donations down to the game tonight. You can donate all throughout the weekend. We'll leave it up there all throughout the weekend as well. Pledge your donations. You heard about the history of female athletics and just activities in general is so important, and they need your help this year. They need your help, and we're glad to be able to do a little bit of our own,
For sure.
our own part here. So we're gonna take our step aside. We're gonna go
Get
away.
ready for some football.
We gotta get ready for some football.
We are ready for some football.
We are ready. We got Millard West tonight. That kickoff is at 6 o'clock. Our pregame will start right about 5:30 or so. Always NorthPlattePost.com. Live video streaming. FM 98.1 on the radio is where you can find it. But again, to people who have already donated, thank you so much. To people who are going to donate, thank you so much as well. It really does mean a lot to everybody here.
And congratulations again to the North Platte girls golf team, the North Platte softball team, and both boys and girls cross country teams qualified for state the first time since like 1984 or 87 or something like that. Since the 80s that's happened. So
in the same year.
Athletics at North Platte High School, activities at North Platte High School. You heard Jordan Cudney say it. If you heard his interview with us earlier, the musical sells out every year.
Yeah, it does.
Everything's alive and well at North Platte High School. Go Dogs.
Go Bulldogs. And we're out.